Okay, welcome everybody to another edition of TEW 2020 with WCW 2003 as it's the night after Spring Break Bash, and now we're on to the road to the next pay-per-view, which I'm not saying the name of because, well, I'm going to set up here in a second. Tonight's going to be a slightly different type of Nitro as it's the night after the pay-per-view. More importantly, I made some slight changes to sort of like the default, format because I've sort of been figuring out that like I need a way to get both sort of an undercard tag match or undercard singles match and a women's match on every show. And at the moment that was sort of impossible, which was making it like really hard for like my mid-card guys to actually get some decent ring time, either whether they're in a tag team or in a singles match. So hopefully the changes I've made won't hurt the rating of the show too much, and will also allow like basically some more matches. Basically what I've done is I've cut a couple minutes off like each match and basically added an extra match. As it goes through, I hope it'll make sense. But anyway, let's go off the Nitro as it's the 4th week of March 2003. And so let's get rolling here. So we start out with a pre-show match in front of 10,000 people in Huntsville, Alabama, the night after the pay-per-view, where Gail Kim defeats Amber O'Neil, Beth Phoenix, and Amy Sakura in 10:28 when Gail Kim pins Amber O'Neil. This gets a 56. Basically, this is just a quick match to get some of the women who will be directly involved right away, some in-ring time, and basically put Gail Kim over, because I've not really had a strong win on, well, she's been doing stuff on Saturday night, but other than that, like, she hasn't been actually doing, like, enough, so this is just a strong win in her larger crowd to basically keep her over. But Gail Kim gets 53, Amber gets a 50, Beth Phoenix gets a 45, which I'm sort of getting worried about Beth's actual, like, cap here. But regardless, it's just a quick win to get them over. So then we actually open the show. And basically we open the show with the Deadpool coming out. And this is basically just, I guess the best way to put it is just like the Deadpool crowing about the fact that they basically screwed the ending of the pay-per-view. Basically Goldberg Macias was the main event of the last pay-per-view. But just as Goldberg had Macias up for the jackhammer, the whole Deadpool ran in and beat him down until the babyfaces tried to make the save. Macias still looks like a monster. Lestat and Morningstar are sort of like looking cocky in the back, and Vampiro is like, World Championship Wrestling. Did you really think I'd simply let something like what was about to happen last night actually happen? The Deadpool always wins in the end. So, heroes come out and face us. Face your doom. But Goldberg doesn't come out, Booker doesn't come out. Instead, Eric Bischoff comes out. And Bischoff's like, Vampiro, obviously, I'm in this business to make money, which is why I haven't gotten your way. If you want to fight with Sting over who's the better painted up guy, if you want to cause chaos, if you want to bring in monsters like Macias, that's fine, because that all makes me money. But you know what's making people upset? When the ending of a pay-per-view gets screwed up, and more importantly, when they see you causing chaos in the end. So guess what? You're not going to get rewarded for what happened last night. So the first thing I want to announce is that our next pay-per-view, WCW Sacrifice, it's going to be Bill Goldberg defending WCW World Title, not against any of you, but against Booker. Crowd pops because, hey, that's a big match. And more importantly, starting right now, you're suspended until after that show is over. Because I know what your plan would be, and you're not going to screw that up. So basically what happens here is then we have some cops come out, so because obviously they're healed and they're going to go without a fight. But after a moment, Vampiro says, Bischoff, you think just because you wear a suit and you hold some power that I'm scared of you. You will rue this day. Then Vamp walks off, and the darkness, the Deadpool all walk away, and Bischoff, does his welcome to the show spiel. They get to 79, probably because Vamp's pretty good, Bischoff is good, but Bischoff's not as over or as good as my top guys. But this is sort of the angle that had to happen. So we come back from that to our opening match, where we have Lexi James defeats Celine Cartier in 4:45 by pinfall Larry DT. Basically, this just gets Lexi over, get Celine Carter some TV time. Let me see, why didn't this get a low morale? Okay, let's see. This was just, yeah. Okay, so basically just low morale, hot crowd. Okay, so nothing really bad. That's sort of unfortunate. Probably also a lack of a storyline. But anyway, after that, Laree takes the mic, and she's basically like, last night, two blonde bimbos failed to take the title off another blonde bimbo. Yeah, you know who I'm talking about. Just because you don't like her doesn't mean I have to like her, you idiots. But, Fox, you got out of last night with the title, but you still haven't faced the best actual women's wrestler in this company one-on-one. So if you've got any guts, face me. Face the actual future of women's wrestling. So this gets a 46, solid stuff. Obviously, I've sort of been doing the same angle here with these guys, but also it's sort of this is just the beginnings of the promotion. I mean, of the division, and sort of setting up as actual strong women's wrestlers is important, and sort of building all these women out who are all fairly young. So then we go backstage where we've got Kidman, and Borash points out that Rob Van Dam beat him last night, and Kidman's like, Rob Van Dam thing is done, but I'm sure as hell is not done with him. And April Hunter's there, looking like April Hunter. So this gets a 77, solid heel promo. So what is Kidman going to do? Who knows? Well, I know, but you don't know yet. Then we have a 3-way tag match, again, to get some people on the show and some in-ring time. So we have an About That as Subpar Wrestling and Little Heat. Jindrak and Stasiak defeated Silver City Rollers and Yang and Noble in 5:22 when Jindrak pinned Yang with the Mark of Perfection. So it's your typical triangle tag match. Devolves to a pure 6. Jindrak gets the pin over Yang because he's sort of not the weak link working wise, but the weak link future booking wise. Everybody looked pretty good here. Yeah. And this is just put over, and then we have a quick post match promo where the heels are like, we've been forgotten for too long, and if WCW isn't going to give us a chance, we're going to take that chance. 62, solid stuff. Jindrak and Stasiak are really a solid heel team. So we go backstage, and we're now backstage with America's Most Wanted, and basically, they're like, we could have been the World Tag Team Champions last night, but those old men screwed us over. So if you think we're done, we should be the World Tag Team Champions right now, but because of you bros and because of you Hannah, we're not. So we're going to take that out on you. And they aren't the great promos yet, but still gets a 55. So again, not the hottest start to our show, but also we're sort of building things here. And then basically we go backstage where Ray Jr., Alex Wright, and Tori Wilson are hanging out backstage because remember they used to be a tag team. They're all friendly. And then, Shane Helms and Gigantes walks up, and sort of both faces are working out for a fight. But, Helms is like, don't worry, I'm not here, to assault you yet. I'm just here to put forward a warning. You've been wasting your time with the Horsemen for the past couple months. Well, the true superstar in World Championship Wrestling, the Legend Killer, has been also busy. But guess what, Ray? I'm coming for you. I'm coming for that U.S. title. I'm coming to end the aura of Rey Mysterio Jr. And Ray Jr. is like, Holmes, you can fight me. I don't care. But first, let's have a little fun. You think you and your big buddy can cause some problems? Well, how about next week on Nitro? Me and Alex versus you two. And Sean's like, fine. It'll be nice to start. It'll be nice to show what a fraud you are. Starting from right there. 69, solid stuff. Obviously, Ray and Alex are not the best guys on the mic. Helms is actually a pretty solid heel, and yeah, there you go. And then in a poor match, James Drew with Conan 5:34, falling a double countout. So this is what you expect. It was just a total brawl right from the start, and explodes to the outside. And quickly, it's both team members and Lawler all getting involved. Lawler directing traffic, and Orlin Conan brawling with the AMW back, basically in the ringside area. This gets a 60, pretty solid stuff. And now things sort of begin to rise up. Well, no, actually, first we have a quick, 1-minute angle where April Hunter, Billy Kidman's new girlfriend, or quasi-new girlfriend, is seen leaving Scott Steiner's locker room. 40, because it's really just April Hunter walking out of the locker room for, a minute. Probably not even a minute, but it has to be a minimum of a minute. And then we go. So basically, first hour sort of ending here. And basically, the Horsemen come out. And it's basically like an in-ring, I don't want to say therapy session, but it's basically an airing of grievances. Ric Flair's like, even I, the nature boy, can admit when things go wrong. And last night, well, it wasn't great. But the Horsemen, despite no matter what you read or you hear people saying, the Horsemen are fine. We're still the most talented group in professional wrestling. We are still the elite of professional wrestling. We still have me, the kiss-wheeling, limo-riding son of a gun. We also got the best wrestler on the planet, as he points to Canyon. We also got the ninth wonder of the world, who can kick any man's ass who gets in our way. And we still got a chosen one, and we still got an extreme icon. So, if you want to fight us, come on and fight us. We've had our problems, but at the end of the day, we're still the Horsemen, and you're not. Woo! And Canyon, I said, nobody's better than Canyon. Nobody's better than Horsemen. And yeah, we have our squabbles, we have our mixed states. Nobody's perfect, but we're still better. And it seems like everything's fine, but but then Canyon goes, it doesn't matter who made the mistake, even though we all know who did it. It just matters that we need to move forward. That sort of gets Jarrett standards, I was doing my best. Things happen. But, I could just easily be in your spot as an ex world champion, Canyon. And he's like, no, we saw what you did. That's why you're in the tag division, helping out the Horsemen now. So if there's something like, guys, everything's fine. The Horsemen are fine. And that sort of is a slight pause, and then what DDP's rip off Teen Spirit music hits, and out comes DDP with O'Hare. And I'll just put a fact that they, along with Palumbo, beat the Horsemen last night. And DDP sort of basically makes fun of the Horsemen. O'Hare does a quick strong promo, basically challenging Canyon, but not quite making it official. And they hype up the tag match that's main eventing tonight. And this gets an 86, because not the best rules for everybody, but still pretty solid stuff. And then we go backstage, where basically Goldberg and Booker are together, and they basically cut a quick promo where it's tonight we're teaming up to take on Team Canada at Sacrifice. We won't sacrifice our friendship, we won't sacrifice lines, but we will go in the ring and we will have a hell of a match, sucker. And Goldberg's at Sacrifice you're next, but for now we're together. 87, basically, because these guys are both charismatic and over as hell. And then we have wow, this is a lot better than I actually expected it to be. I keep on forgetting Kaz is actually really good. Well, actually, it's more like Rob Van Dam is really good. But anyway, about that good wrestling and decent reaction from the crowd, Rob Van Dam defeated Kaz in a 958 by pinfall with split leg and moonsault. So this gets an 80, which is a lot better than I thought it was going to be. And then RVD is celebrating, pointing to himself, but out of nowhere, Scott Steiner just runs in and just lays him out with a clothesline from a big old Steiner line, and goes to lock in the Steiner recliner before officials come in and rip him off. So this gets an 84, because these guys are both pretty over and both really good. So that's solid. Then we have a really quick two-minute segment where Eric Bischoff is in his office, and Ernest Miller and Miss Jones are there, and basically they all three hype up that the TV title is back on Saturday night, and that the tournament will begin on Saturday night to run the new television champion, which will be exclusive to Saturday night, and this gets a 53. And then so again, this is just sort of, I don't want to say my project, but just something I enjoy doing. So basically, last time we saw Johnny the Bull in Italy, he got a mysterious letter telling him to meet somebody at a piazza. I might have said restaurant, but let's say piazza. And, Johnny the Bull, it's like late at night in quote unquote Italy. Actually, we're actually saying it's Italy, but like, so, Johnny Bull's not dressed like this. He's actually dressed like an actual, like, regular guy in a suit and tie. And all of a sudden, like, a very beautiful woman comes up to him and is like, Johnny, you have much to learn about your country of origin, about your family, and I'm here to help you do that. And Johnny's like, sort of like smirks and like, oh, I'll go wherever you want, baby. And Elisabeth and the lady's like, I'm not here to be your eye candy. I'm here to help you. I'm here to actually get you to your full potential. So this is the debut of Elisabeth Canales. For those of you who don't remember random Italian actresses who became famous for being George Clooney's girlfriend, there you go. I looked up and she actually popped up as like an actress who wasn't actually famous in America yet. She wasn't with George Clooney yet, and she was just sort of like a random Italian TV actress before this, so I figured, why not use her. So if we recap gimmick changes, her gimmick of Italian sex got a grade. So there you go. Got a 29 because obviously nobody's over here, but again, I'm just doing this because this is like fun and interesting for me. Then we go to our semi-main event, which should have been our main event, maybe. But anyway, Bill Goldberg and Booker T defeat Team Canales 12-29 when Booker T pinned Lance Storm with the Harlem Hangover, which I should have probably changed to the Houston Hangover at some point, but whatever. This is like, I don't want to say like nothing special, but like this is, sort of like what do you expect? It's Storm, it's awesome, it's Bill Goldberg's Booker T, all four of these guys are solid workers, and at the end, like, Booker T goes over. Interesting thing is Goldberg and Booker actually have excellent chemistry teaming together, so that's actually kind of awesome. Goldberg got an 83, Booker got an 86, Storm got a 71, and Awesome got a 72. And then a quick 2-minute segment, Goldberg, Booker T celebrating, got a 69, so there you go. Then in our main event, which was really freaking good, in a superb match, Kane and Ric Flair defeats Sean Heron, Dynamite Dallas Page in 1820 when Ric Flair pinned Dynamite Dallas Page following interference from Jeff Jarrett. So this time around, instead of the guitar, at the end of the match, Jarrett comes down, throws Ric Flair some brass knucks, or actually throws Flair a roll of quarters. Flair whacks DDP with them. Flair gets a pinfall victory. Everybody's happy. Well, actually, the heels aren't happy. I mean, the babyface aren't happy, but the Horsemen are happy. Solid stuff. Kaden got a 90. Metro got an 86. And we end things with the Horsemen are actually fine. It seems that they are. So this gets an 82, which is not like our best finish ever, but still solid stuff. So this gets an 85, which is sort of like what I was aiming for. So this shows that, like, as long as I have like hot stuff like to end the show, we should be okay. Like, sort of with this kind of booking, like sort of a slightly, I don't want to say like worse lower card, but basically putting more people in lower card stuff to sort of put over things. But regardless, like, so going to finish the show. So this will just take a second. I gotta do some stuff like I don't want this like spoil. So you'll see a quick jump cut to the actual like regular screen, and so I'll see you there in just a second. Okay, we're back to the main screen here. So basically what's happening, just so you know, is that basically I'm booking the last week and a half Raw up to WrestleMania, and then I'll be booking WrestleMania like I did last year, for those who don't remember. Basically, what's the word I'm looking for here? So that there's like some sort of like actual storylines going on, and not just like the mess that is the usual AA booking. I've been booking like basically WrestleMania and SummerSlam, and sort of like the quasi lead up in like basically the last week of both shows, just sort of like build up some reality. And also so I can like sort of artificially like push some people to like sort of like higher standards. Aside from that, I don't like touch like any booking in the rest of the game, but this is like, because I actually do like try to book the best shows possible, and also it's like helps helps create some like internal storylines in my head to look over. But anyway, regardless, but as far as some news here, so Stacey Hubler has been offered a cameo role in a popular TV show and will leave to begin filming in 2 months. Hopefully, unlike real life, nobody tells her things like unions, or that in real Hollywood you like get paid for your hotels and stuff. Some other stuff. Billy Kim in an opinion. Amber O'Neill's pretty good in the ring. What do you mean by that, Billy? Mentioning Helms. Interesting. And Disco Inferno relocated to the Midwest randomly. Okay. Maybe there's a good casino there or something. But just as a check on things, just as a quick check, storyline-wise, as we head towards the next pay-per-view, we're still getting enough good storylines. Hot storylines is both Canyon versus O'Hare and EDB versus Ric Flair, which is interesting. But we're hitting all our things we should as far as like highlights. Nothing else to really talk about in theory. So that's it for now. The next actual show you see will be Wrestlemania. So that'll be interesting. Just to go over that real quick. Basically, no, actually, I'll go over that on the show itself. But basically, it's just like in real life, it's going to be headlined by Austin versus The Rock. It's going to have a world title match of Shawn Michaels versus Kurt Angle, Triple H versus Eddie Guerrero, and then Edge versus Undertaker, and other fun stuff. So that'll be interesting to go over. I'll sort of go over the internal sort of storylines I've made up in the last couple weeks, and go over the show as usual. Go through the booking, and then after that it'll be on to Nitro as we continue on the road to Sacrifice. But that's all for now. So if you feel like the show, go ahead and give it a like. Comment below anything you've enjoyed or not enjoying, and subscribe to the channel for more fun TEW 2020 content. That's all for now. So talk to you later, and adios.